Biggest challenges of parents of special needs children is to find and choose the right school for a child. So today we have an opportunity to get answers from the person with 9 years of experience as a school director and a headmaster in kindergarten, and she has many years of experience as a teacher. And honestly, I think she has a talent to find an approach to any child. And she happened to be my friend. From the mother's perspective, I will be asking questions, and I'm sure I'll get honest answers. So my first question to my friend Helen is to when we had to go to school, and when I faced the challenge to find the right school, we had a lot of refusals, because one of the reasons was that when we came to the school, I was very honest, saying that my child has autism.
Let me guess, you choose not to tell the schools that your child has a special needs, yeah?
Yes. And after that, I made a decision that probably is better not to say that my child has autism. So, as a director of the school, what is your attitude? What is your opinion? Is it better to be very honest and say, because in our country there is a special attitude to children with special needs?
Yeah. Actually, honesty is the best policy. In this case, anyway, it's better to say the truth, because then the teacher will know how to interact with the child. But, unfortunately, from my own experience, I would tell you that maybe 90% of the parents, they try to hide this fact. And as you said, because they suspect that there will be different attitude, but also, some of them, they don't know, or they don't want to believe that something wrong with their child, unfortunately. And this is very bad, because they are losing the most precious thing, the time. And I would divide parents into two groups. One who knows, and they try to hide because maybe they got refusals from the previous school or bad experience at those schools. And they normally say like, oh, really? He did so? He's so normal at home. I don't know. Maybe the color of the walls are different at your school, or maybe he's in a wrong mood today. But at home, he's an ideal child. So this is one type. And sometimes when you try to push and say, no, but you know, such situations, they repeat from day to day. They say, oh, then this is the problem of a teacher. Maybe teacher is not good enough and cannot inspire our child and make him interested in the subject, and so on, so on, so on. But there are really another type of parents who don't know. And you know why? Because even when school, teachers at schools, they have some suspicions, because also they cannot make diagnoses, you know, and they give some advices. Go to psychology first, yeah? They say, go and maybe you need some tests and so on and so on. They come back from psychologist and they say, okay, nothing. Psychologist said that it's just hyperactive child, and 70% of children today, they are like that. That's it.
Yeah, but from the school perspective, personally for you and for the people that work for you, is it better that you know that this child has a diagnosis? Or, for example, when I mean, it's not only about school, because when we went to some theater classes, and I was very honest, and it was in England, and I was very honest, and I said that my child has autism, but he's very good actor and he wants to act. So they said, yes, we will try. And then they tried a few times, and my son was touching a few people who was hyperactive, and they said, because of your condition, because of your diagnosis, we can't have you anymore. So you understand me
Yeah.
as a mother, and now you're, you are in the shoes
Yes.
of a teacher and of a director.
Yes.
So what would you advise to parents like me?
I would advise to say the truth, to say about diagnosis, not to hide, because anyway, teacher, if he has this knowledge, he can involve another specialist. Maybe he can, if we're talking about this trip to the theater, he can even think with whom he will put him sitting. Like, there are different children. Someone is more quiet, another one is more hyper. So he even will choose the right neighbor for him, both at the theater and on the bus or whatever transport they will go with. So it's important for teachers to know. And what is more important, to feel also your support as a mother. Because me, unfortunately, I have experience of a private school, and we are even in a bigger trouble because the concept of private education in our country, it's just, we're in the beginning of our way. And people, they cannot accept the fact that they have to pay for education, because education is for free, in Ukraine, we say so. Then parents with children with special needs, what they feel, okay, I will put my child in a private school, I will pay some money, and okay, no need for anyone, no need for tutor, no need for any extra support or some communication with psychologists and so on and so on. But it's not like that.
And another question I have for you, when there is a myth, or is it true, what is your opinion? Because many years of training with ABA therapy, and we try to get just basic skills like yes, no, mine, his, behavioral, etc. And then when it was time to go to school, our therapist told us, just go to school and he will get all the social skills that he's in. The society will shape him. And fine, so we found a school, with challenges, but we did it, and then we went to UK, and he's quite happy with the school. But I see more and more growing difference between him, my son, not intellectual, because he's quite bright, he's the best reader in the school, he's writing, he's constantly writing something, he invents different theories, and he's coding even now himself. And but when we met with his peers, with his friends, and I see the big difference. They are more like adult, and he's still on the child level of emotional intellect. So what is your opinion? Is it true that when you just put a child in an environment with other kids that he will naturally adapt? Or there has to be some assistance?
No, he will not. He will not, unfortunately. This is a myth, and I want to destroy it now. No, he or she needs some assistance. And this assistance, when we talk about lessons, like if we talk even about tutor or any other assistant, he cannot interfere exactly at this moment in a lesson. It's like a routine. It's like routine. Like sometimes you can teach children with spectrum just to establish this eye contact the same way. It's day by day, day by day. And sooner or later they will gain this academic discipline, behavior, whatever, but not by themselves, no. It will not happen.
And what is your opinion, even though you're not a specialist on special needs children, but do you think it is possible to improve this emotional intellect by just these small things, but just by assistance, by having a tutor or assistance? And by the way, what is better from your perspective, to have tutor, personal tutor, or just the school assistants can help, or it depends probably on the level of the child?
It depends on the level of a child, you know. Again, from my experience, we used to have, like we can say, harder case in the kindergarten, and parents, they came already with their own program. Like they said, we need a group of kids, as you said, to shape his emotional intellect. But we understand that some subjects he never will be interested in. So what they choose, they brought a tutor, their tutor from their side, especially trained with some programs. And for example, when it was a math lesson, he was sitting in a class and communicating with a class. But when it was, for example, music class, yeah, or English class, the tutor took him to another room and they were studying something according to their program. And actually it was a good combination. It was a really good combination. And in this case, we really need a tutor because, you know, in kindergarten they can have like some rehearsals for concert or whatever, and the child cannot stand it. All this noise, yes, all these performances. Yeah, sure. And so the parents actually, they choose the perfect pattern for their child. But not all parents, you know, they feel like that. They normally say, okay, we're already paying for the school. But
why do we need to pay some extra money?
Yeah, for tutor. But unfortunately, only that. But assistant, I mean, if we're talking about high functional kids, yes, it can help. Just explain, but any situation. You know, because sometimes they can go on the corridor, they just push each other, and you know, if child, for him it's enough to say sorry. You know, for it can be like a very big scandal. And also you need to work with the class and explain to him, to the class, that you know, we all have our emotional intellect and our border of emotions, and maybe for this boy or girl, even if you step on his or her feet, it will be you know, just you cannot say that this school assistant will only work with a child. No, also with a class.
And what do you think? Because very often parents think what is better when, in the case of high functional autism, what is better to choose a class like when we have general schools with 30 children and with school assistant or teacher's assistant or a tutor, or just like 8 children but with no assistance?
It depends. It depends on the child, but when we're talking about assistant who will take a child, you know, it will also like desolate him a bit, you know, like all the kids, they will, it's possible, but also teacher has to explain to the class why is it so. And he can find any reason, you know, even no connection with autism, just to say, you know, it's because he cannot listen to high voice longer than 20 minutes, and this other teacher take him out to talk with him or to change the topic, whatever, but not to say because he's autistic, because. And when we're talking about small groups, also there are pluses. If a child needs more assistance, it's better to have a smaller group because teacher is playing the role of a tutor. And normally what I notice, those teachers, they put this child beside that any time they can, like, almost we can say grab his hand, because they can be also aggressive from no reason. You cannot predict those reasons.
And you had just a final question. I know that you have very successful cases in your school when there were kids with special needs, and you've seen their progress rapidly, depending on the class teacher, depending on this ruling control of the class teacher. So if you could just say a few words about that.
Yes, actually it was a real success because Okay, you know, the boy, he happened to be at our kindergarten. It was during the period when I used to work, you know, the director of kindergarten. So, and he was lucky to have a teacher, PE instructor as well, and she had a special voice tonation. You know, PE instructor, I mean, she was very, I cannot say tough, but well organized, and really he was obeying. He was following all the instructions, and you know, because he did not destroy this academical discipline and they had no conflicts, he adjusted to the class quick, and everything was very good and successful. And you know what? During a short period, they moved to another city and they went to another kindergarten. And it happened that another teacher, maybe with low voice, with another tonation, she could not even, you know, ask him to sit on a chair. Like he was, you know, some scrolling on the table.
He didn't hear her. Yeah,
yes,
that's
exactly.
what I noticed.
He did not hear. Yeah. This is the experience from kindergarten, and another experience from school. That was opposite. There was a girl, and you know, when the teacher, also, she was very quiet, and even when she was talking, I have to you know, yes, yeah. So she was almost like whispering. And for all the rest of the class, it was fine. But for this girl, no. Like, I mean, she could stand up and leave the class, and they faced a lot of problems. So, unfortunately, the teacher gave up. And when there was a replacement, another teacher, she was also very quiet, but she had this ruling control, yeah, she had, and it was really a successful case. And now the girl, she's in the 2nd grade, and you know, she's just
having a big progress.
Yes, big progress. So the character of a teacher is crucial. It's very important. It's very important, and not all teachers can stand it. No.
That is, I think, very important to hear for any parent. We don't blame teachers for not teaching our kids, but I think it's very important to find the right teacher that the child can develop, progress, prosper. I think that at your school, kids are quite happy to find the right teachers and the right environment. Do you have any advice how really to choose the right teacher, or just a luck?
For parents and children, yes, it's a luck, because they are not the ones who are choosing teachers. It's my task. So, yeah, for them, it's important to find the right school, and how to find and to choose, as you asked in the beginning. They have to go and visit at least, I don't know, like 2-3 schools to feel the spirit, to communicate, you know, to see the teachers at the corridors, you know, to feel the spirit of the school, if it's their school or not. I don't know what to say else. I think, maybe one more advice. And don't afraid to change the school. Yes, if it's not comfortable, because also it depends on a class. You know, class in one school, you can have perfect teacher, but you know, the selection of kids will be different. You know, it depends even the balance between girls and boys and many factors.
So there is so many nuances really to take into account. And well, thank you very much. It was very important, I think, for many parents to hear about your experience and to hear your advice. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I wish everyone finds the best school.